Every now and then a game comes along that really just knocks me. The ones you feel you're cutting short by saying it was just another game. That experience that stops you in your fucking tracks. The game that bleeds something you just can't ignore. You know what I'm talking about. The Red Dead, Cyberpunks, whatever it is to you. For me, this year, it's been Death Stranding. I don't mean Death Stranding 2. Nope, the harvest just ain't what it used to be here, so I'm roughing it. I've been playing the first game, and I've been fucking loving it. I'd love to tell you why. I'd love to tell you what it is about this game that's grabbed me, but I haven't got a fucking clue. In a way, maybe that's part of it. Don't get me wrong, I get it. The basics, I mean. I know what BTs, BBs, and all of that is. I know what Sam's doing and why he's doing it, and, no spoilers, but I've finished the game too. I know what he is. But what is Death Stranding? Not the thing going on in the game, I mean the game itself. Where did this come from? Seriously, where the fuck did this come from? It's come from Kojima, yeah, and Kojima clearly knows how to get weird. But where did this come from? Why this? Why this of all the stories you could tell? What made Death Stranding the special idea? Things get weird from the start. I mean the very fucking start. Death Stranding opens by asking you to enter your date of birth. I'm a donkey with a pretty tacky identity, so I'm happy to give Hideo mine. I'm a Pisces. Who the fuck cares? Death Stranding, apparently. Turns out that means I have a higher connection to dooms, whatever the fuck they are. Okay, I haven't even got to the fucking start of the game yet. And if I'm being honest, my actual first impressions of Death Stranding, before I actually played it for myself, it kind of freaked me out. The whole thing looked weird, and it is weird. But back then, I'd only ever played Metal Gear Solid 5 and only seen Hideo in Konpeki Plaza in Cyberpunk, so he didn't have the hype for me he has for, the world. At the time, all I could see was the weirdness, and I didn't have anything to make me take that leap. You run around America with a stack of Amazon boxes on your back and an incubated baby on your front. What the actual fuck? I didn't see the soul, the blood, the whatever the fuck something in it that's pouring from it. Listen, I'm easily put off. We Zabronkies, we like pretty things. We like our action heroes to look cool, and this isn't, and we are absolutely that vain. But finally, years after its release, when all the dust of the game's random controversy for selling itself as exactly what it was faded, and my donkey-based sensibilities were less offended by the sight of incubated babies, I bought the definitive edition, and, well, Sam, we need you to. Give me it. Don't you want to? Give me it. Give me all of it. I'll do it. I'll do it all. The donkey that delivers. That's what they'll call me. This is what I was meant to be. What all those years of entertaining families on the farm and being wrangled for milk was all about. I'll be a legend. The donkey that fucking delivers. And okay, shit, the high. Yes, you look like a twat. Yes, it's fucking weird. Yes, it's literally just walking around with a stack of boxes on your back. But man, this is a new peak in gameplay. This is the craziest random gaming addiction I've ever had. I've been walking around for 40 hours straight in a game. That should be the most unimaginably unbearable thing, but it's not. How the fuck is it not? That engineered loneliness in this weirdly sublime but very not to scale America. I've had it before, this mystical, ominously beautiful feeling. But Death Stranding was definitely a new kind of experience. The world is stunning in the way Red Dead 2 is, that pure, high-quality beauty. But between the upside-down rainbows, the ominous aura of a desolate but vast world, Death Stranding has this mysterious Elden Ring-style aura to it. There's no floating golden tree, but there's something disturbing. It comes together for me in a way I can't really describe with another word. Sublime, but in that gay, artsy, philosophical sense. Indulge me. Whatever is fitted in any sort to excite the ideas of pain and danger, that is to say, whatever is in any sort terrible, or is conversant about terrible objects, or operates in a manner analogous to terror, is a source of the sublime. That is, it is productive of the strongest emotions which the mind is capable of feeling. These are the words of Edmund Burke. Surprisingly, not a Burke, but a philosopher in... who the fuck cares? What I care about is that paragraph, that flowery fruit shoot of words basically saying sublime comes from something beautiful in a way that's different to that cutesy Red Dead pretty scenery kind of beauty. It's a beauty that comes from exciting the darker feelings in us. The fear, the striking incomprehensibility of what stands in front of us, the terrorized what the fuck awe of seeing it in front of us. This mix of dark and light creates an emotion so intense, the most intense according to this guy, so fuck it must be true. If I'm saying sublime in that sense, then Death Stranding absolutely encapsulates it. When the rain kicks in and my Odra deck whatever the fuck thing pops up, when you have to navigate a narrow ridgeway covered with enemies you can't fight or even fucking see all around you, that emotion, it's so primal. As a game, I can easily say it's not for everyone, but as an experience, damn man, that's where Death Stranding cuts above for me. I don't know if Kojima bled here, but holy fuck has he done something. He's laid himself bare one way or another, and fuck me does he come packing some shit to show. This is one of the weirdest, most surreal journeys I've ever sat down and gone through in a game. Fucking anything, to be honest. But there was one thing I just couldn't shake this whole time about Death Stranding. Something that gnawed at me more the more I went on. This idea that this game went so much deeper. This idea there was something deeper to all of this sublime, metaphorical, philosophical bullshit. I mean, where the fuck does this come from? I get the message on face value. I get the whole story is about reconnecting America and building some quantum entanglement internet thing. I get that these are babies that bridge to the beach, and I get the beach is a realm between life and the afterlife. I get that there's a theme or a message, a plea or whatever the fuck you want to call it for us as people to reconnect. I get that, but it's what's after it? What's underneath it? Why show it like this? Why do I have this itch that there's more to this? What's the Death Stranding, the Six Extinction umbilical called shit? What's all of that about? I've just started my second playthrough of the game, and in a way I'm kind of enjoying it more than my first. The scares might not be as scary and the feelings might not be so primal. But the cutscenes, the symbolisms, the shit that was staring me in my fucking face the whole time but was obfuscated just enough to make sure I couldn't make sense of what it was until I saw where it was all going. You can just tell this is a game that wants to be dug to be explored. The very first order you do has you take your now dead mother's corpse to the incinerator because, and I can't believe I haven't already touched on this, any body that isn't incinerated within like 48 hours of death can necrotize. And if that happens in a populated city, it causes a nuclear scale explosion called a void out. Why? Something about bridge things touching real things. Hey, maybe Tom Hanks could give us a hand unravelling this mystery. Oh, did somebody say touching? Whoa, not that kind, Tom. Anyway, Bridget, the dead lady on her way to the incinerator. She's the president. Oh, but she's so much more than that. She's the key to this whole fucking mystery. And that order, deliver the president, your mum, the key to all this fucking Death Stranding malarkey. It's a symbolic foreshadowing of how all of Death Stranding's going to come together at the end. You, Sam Porter Bridges, burning Bridget Strand, your mother, the president, the catalyst to this whole fucking extinction. And then you spare a BB, also destined for the same fate as Bridget. A baby, already near the beach, that you bring back, and as we see in Death Stranding 2, bring into the real world. Same as, another probably unimportant BB. There is no way all of this wasn't planned. What about the fact that Bridget, of all the fucking people, dies of cancer, of all the fucking diseases, the fact that literal black gunk pours out of the medical tubes when she detaches from them in a fucking mad fit of insanity or whatever the fuck she's trying to do to Sam at the start of the game. The same black gunk that oozes out of every BT. And the episodes, man, you know I'm going too deep if I'm talking about the fucking episode titles. Episode 1, Bridget. Episode 2, Amelie. And no, that isn't just fucking lens flare Amelie. I mean, don't tell me there's not something intentional in all of this. What about chiralium? Is it a literal manifestation of the time that passes us? The inexorable fear of an unknown and unpredictable future, and a guaranteed inevitable end? And no way was it just some quirky choice to make people with dooms, people with an abnormally strong affinity to chiralium, be plagued by weird apocalyptic nightmares that are literally forced on them by the personification of that extinction. The one that's basically spending its whole life on Earth and on the beach and in the random hospital room trying to ask humanity if it's worth carrying on. The literal personification of extinction, having to force extinction's idea into humanity's head just to see if they want to endure, or do they want to give up, knowing that the end is coming no matter what? What about the fact that these people, plagued by these nightmares of an apocalyptic end, have a tendency towards nihilism, the saying no to life, and a tendency towards, those kinds of urges? Am I the only donkey-brained dickhead who's overanalyzing this? Am I meant to see something wanting to be said all the way down this fucking rabbit hole? I mean, where the fuck did this come from? Why the fuck did it come at all? Yes, there is a message about connecting in Death Stranding. I spent 60 hours reconnecting America, saving the world and dropping off a delivery, yeah. But this whole time something deeper was panging in me. Have I just gone mad? Have I caught what comes to all mules and donkeys one day or another? Delivery delirium. Have I huffed the pipe of Jeff Bezos' vampire skin just one too many times, and now I can't see the key to the universe being separate from his sweet, sweet Amazon deliveries? Have I spent too long living inside their big distribution centres, plastering them with Kojima's thoughts? Or is there something deeper? Some reason why this is the story we got. Why it's Death Stranding and not anyone that the fuck knows what the fuck runs through his head ideas going on in Kojima's head. Indulge me some more. Why have I gotten all fancy pants let's sit in a garden and talk about philosophy in this video? Why have I bothered telling you one random guy from the 18th century's definition of a fucking word? I mean, he was born in 18th century Ireland. I'm sure a fucking potato would have invoked the kind of sublime terror he talks about. The reason I've banged on about all of this is because this feeling, this oh so highest form of feeling, according to that fucking guy, has come from the things that haunt us. The things that fuck us up and dare destroy us. It comes from not overcoming them, but doing some fucking mental gymnastics to make our peace with them. To pull ourselves out of the hole we've spent so long staring into and see the light outside of it. Fuck man, maybe even see light in the fact that we're capable of staring into that hole, but fuck me, one thing at a time. And I just can't help, though, no matter how fucking stupid I sound with all of this, I can't help thinking that these are themes that are entangled into Death Stranding. Maybe it's all them dooms we Pisces have, but I see in Death Stranding, in all of this weird dead people are stuck in timefall and babies nihilistic bad guys shit, I see a journey into an abyss, one that is weird and fucked up and primally intimidating, one that's beautiful in the weird sublime way a melting pot something like this can only be, one that wants you to...
Keep on keeping on.
What?
Keep on keeping on.
What the...
Keep on keeping on.
Is that what Death Stranding's asking us to do? Don't give up. Is it really that simple? But why does it need to be so fucking mysterious? What if that's the point? What if being confronted by the unknowable, the inexorable and the terrifying is what gives us the courage to go on, by having survived a brush up against the things that always look like they'd only need to brush up against us to finish us, by having survived the abyss that always seems so hopeless in our heads, having it put right in front of us so that we have to deal with the fact it's staring right into us, and deal with the fact that we're still here despite that. Part of what makes something sublime is the fact that we're confronted with something we don't understand, something we can't ever truly understand, something that, just by being in front of us, makes us understand we don't understand it. But instead of breaking us, it creates a feeling that this guy put on the same level and above as beauty, that this sublime feeling is in fact one of the most excitatory feelings we can ever feel. But like, what? Why the fuck? What the fuck? How the fuck? How can confronting the things that invoke our most deep and intense dark feelings create such an elating, almost fucking rapturous feeling of light? I have no fucking clue, but I vouch for it. I know I've felt it. When I've stared up at a mountain covered by an ominous grey fog, when I've looked at the future and realised how short our time is, when I've tried to unravel the web of a world that is ours, and the web of who even fucking knows that we are. And I felt it when I embarked on this crazy fucking rollercoaster walking simulator journey, and the ending it had been leading me towards this whole time. The ending that convinced me this was the fucking message in all of this shit. So you've just spent 60 hours logging yourself in a million random parcels all across America, the dying wish of your now incinerated mum, all in the hope of freeing your sister Emily, who was captured by a nihilistic terrorist cult. You bring the people of America together and connect them to the chiral network, linking everyone under one umbrella. Yeah, you were meant to do that. You were meant to bring everyone together into one cozy little dead people particle network, so you could bring them closer to the end, to an extinction that was already underway. Yeah. Bridget, Emily, they, she, whatever the fuck, she is the extinction. An extinction entity. She is the end, the abyss, the inexorable personified. She knew the end was coming. She knew the world was breaking. How could she not? She is the end. Emily, Bridget, whatever the fuck she is, she had to stare into the abyss. She was the abyss. She knew life, humanity, all of it was futile. A struggle against an end she knew was coming, because she'd be the one to bring it in. But could she? Should she? She had to end it. One day she would be forced to end it. She didn't know how it would happen, but she saw every way it could happen. She felt the abyss inside her, and the abyss broke her, which is why she reached out to humanity in the first place. Bridget created the BBs because she wanted to show humanity the abyss that she couldn't stop seeing. She put the nightmares into people with Doom's heads because she wanted to see how they'd react to them. She brought Sam, the first BB, back from the dead because even if she was an entity that brings extinction, she wanted to believe in life. Even if she, more than anyone, saw how ultimately futile life is. She wanted to be convinced, but when the people who saw the vision she couldn't cover fell into the same abyss she did, when she saw people once connected break apart, and saw Sam walk out on her, America, and everything else, she started believing what she always feared was true, that everyone may as well give up. They already were. So she worked with the man most convinced that life was futile, the man most broken by her nightmares, Mr. Troy Baker Homo Demon. With him, she would bring the world to its end, in the way that causes the least pain and with the quietest scream. One quick, instant, chiral network connected void out, and this whole time, you were leading everyone into it. She saw no other path. She hoped sharing these visions with others would show her something she didn't see, that others might bring her out of the abyss. But it didn't. It just brought everyone else into it. Sam fell into it. Everyone fell into it. But across the journey of Death Stranding, the one Amelie sent you on that brings everyone to the end, Sam finds something. Meaning? Purpose? A reason to keep going. A reason to reach out and reconnect. To other people, as well as to life. He found an answer. Maybe not the answer. And fuck, he didn't realise he found it. He was clueless at the end when Amelie dropped all of this on him. But here he is, facing Amelie, the extinction unfolding before his eyes, and he's told by her that he knows what to do. He doesn't. You don't. You're given a gun, the game puts you in ADS pointing right at Amelie. Shoot her. Fight the extinction? Do that, you get the bad ending. Amelie cries blood and blows everything up. Fight against it, push and try to break away from the extinction, and you only bring it closer. But if you do what you've done the whole game, put one foot in front of the other, reach out one last time, you get the good ending. You chase Amelie as she wanders into the beach like some fucking psyched up pixie rave girl. You grab her, hug her. You stare extinction in the face and choose to go on. You choose to believe or choose to embrace. You choose to accept it. In a way, you're struggling against the end, but you're not trying to fight it. You've just stopped letting the knowledge of it knock you off your course. And that's when Amelie tells you the secret. Sam didn't find the answer. He just found an answer. When everyone plagued by Amelie's visions of the end, by the abyss, fell into that abyss, Amelie was stuck with the same hopelessness she started with, the one she hoped desperately to get rid of. But Sam found it. He brought it to others. He brought it to her in the end. She needed time, she needed perspective, but so did he. Neither of them needed the answer, the key to the universe, or the way to stop the Death Stranding stick's extinction in its entirety. They just needed an answer, a reason to go on, a reason to let others go on, a reason to know stripping all life away isn't just a mercy killing, a reason to know life wants to exist. It's a simple message, a simple answer to that abyss-riddled question. But sometimes, the simplest answer can be the hardest to find. It can be even harder to feel, to believe it, especially when you're faced with an abyss. If I had to sum up my experience with Death Stranding, I'd say it was personal. Maybe my thoughts on this game say more about me than they do about the game itself. But I can't escape this idea that this is a plea from a man who knows it's too easy to look out at the world, the myriad of systems, rules, human and not, at play, and think, fuck me. A plea from someone who knows when the head has lost its way, it's the heart you need to rekindle. A man who has made a story that doesn't necessarily make much fucking sense to our logical brains, but has a message you just can't help but feel when you go through it. And that message, at its core, it's saying, fuck me, keep on keeping on.